Their nervous system is nothing but made up of paired ganglia, which are connected by lot of lateral nerves from the side, and all these nerves finally end up in a double ventral nerve cord. Terrestrial annelids, don't mark it as parapodia, it will become wrong because parapodia are present in aquatic annelids, not in terrestrial annelids. Dash is not a characteristic feature of annelids. So therefore, the answer here is visceral hump is not a characteristic feature because all the other three are the characteristic feature. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to this session on First PUC Biology. I'm Dr. Divya, Biology Faculty, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysore. So in this session, let us learn about the topic Annelida under Chapter 4, that is Animal Kingdom. So we'll learn the characteristics of annelids and then move on to understanding some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So annelids, the name says annelids, wherein annulus meaning little ring. So it is a Latin word, that is annulus. Why it is called as annelids is because if you look at the body, they are segmented, wherein the segment looks like as if it is small rings on the body of that particular organism. So they have given the name as ringworm also to these particular organisms. For example, earthworm. Earthworm is one of the best example that we can take for annelids. They have segments. And talking about the habitat, they are aquatic, wherein they can live in marine habitat, that is seas and oceans, and in fresh water such as ponds, rivers, lakes, etc. And some of them can be terrestrial as well. So terrestrial, earthworms, leech, all that are terrestrial. Aquatic, it is Nereis. Nereis is one of the best example for an aquatic annelid. They can be free living and some are parasitic. Sometimes they are parasitic, meaning they depend on a living host for their survival. For example, leeches can be considered to some extent as parasitic because they depend on the blood of other living animals for their survival. So that is how they are parasitic sometimes. And talking about the level of body organization, they have organ system level of body organization, wherein they have a specialized organ system for excretion. For example, they have nephridia, which helps in the process of excretion. So therefore, they have an organ system level of organization. And their arrangement of cells, triploblastic, wherein the cells are arranged in 3 embryonic layers, that is an outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, and between the ectoderm and the endoderm, there is one more layer of cells that are present, which is called as the mesoderm. Meso means middle, ecto means outside, endo means inside. So hence it is triploblastic cell arrangement. And do they have a body cavity? Yes, they have a body cavity. That is why they are coelomates. So here you can see the diagram of Nereis, which is an aquatic annelid. And this is how it looks. So it almost looks like a millipede or a centipede, but this is not that. It is Nereis. So next, moving on to the structure. So they are bilaterally symmetrical. Bilateral symmetry means when I draw a line, say for example, here itself you can see there is a line already in the center. So I draw a line exactly in the center like this. This half is similar to the other half of the body, right? They are like mirror images of each other. So therefore, they are bilaterally symmetrical and they are metamerically segmented. Do they have segments? Yes, they have segments. They are segmented. What type of segmentation? Metameric segmentation. So metamerism means this is one of the important point that you have to remember because the question comes up in the exam most often. What is metamerism? Give an example for an organism that exhibits metamerism, or it can come for MCQs also as a 1 mark or a 2 mark. This question can be asked. So metamerism is nothing but wherein in some of the segments continuously the organs will be divided or distributed. Say for example, if we take a leech and if we dissect the leech and open it, you can see in some of the segments continuously there is distribution of nephridia. So say for example, up to 10 segments, if they have nephridia, then they'll have 10 nephridias in their body. That is, repetition of organs is there in each segment continuously or in a serial order. So that is called as metamerism. And apart from that, some of the annelids which are terrestrial, for example, earthworm, leech, do they have feet to move from one place to another, or do they have limbs? No, right? So how exactly do they move? So they have longitudinal and circular muscles in the body which actually helps in locomotion. So say for example, this is a leech. This is how it moves, right? So it just like a spring. So when you press a spring and leave it, the spring moves to a certain distance, right? Same way here also. It is just like a spring. The muscles contract, the circular and longitudinal muscles contract, and when it relaxes, the organism moves with contraction, relaxation, with contraction, relaxation. So that is how they crawl and creep. So that is in the case of terrestrial organism. Now what about the aquatic ones like nerees? So aquatic ones, they have lateral appendages. That is at the side of their body. If you can see, these are the appendages that they have. Appendages are organs which help in movement. So these appendages are nothing but called as parapodia. Podia means feet. So they act like feet, wherein using that they can wade in water or they can swim in the water. So they have parapodia which help in swimming. And not just that, they have these organisms, annelids, have a circulatory system, wherein the circulatory system is a closed type of circulatory system. So what is a closed type circulatory system? It is nothing but, that is, the heart pumps its blood through arteries, veins and capillaries to specific organs. So that is closed type of circulatory system. And talking about the nephridia, that is, it is one of the excretory organ that is present in these organisms, that is nephridia. And this nephridia helps in the process of osmoregulation as well as eliminating waste from the body. And they have a neural system, and the neural system is made up of paired ganglia which are connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. Like how in our body we have a nervous system, right? The peripheral nervous system that comes from the side, and the central nervous system, that is a backbone, right? So all the peripheral nerves will be connected to the central nervous system. Likewise here, they have a paired, their nervous system is nothing but made up of paired ganglia which are connected by lot of lateral nerves from the side. And all these nerves finally end up in a double ventral nerve cord. So they have a double ventral nerve cord to which all the nerves are connected. Next, reproduction. So the reproduction in earthworm and leeches, they are monoecious. So monoecious meaning they are hermaphrodites, wherein both the male and the female reproductive organs are present in one individual organism itself. They don't have a separate male and a separate female. So that is monoecious. Whereas nerees, which is an aquatic annelid that lives in water, they are dioecious, meaning where male nerees is separate, female nerees is separate. And reproduction is sexual. So meaning the sperm and the egg meet for fertilization and then the young ones develop. So it is sexual reproduction. Next, talking about some of the examples under this particular phylum Annelida, we have nerees, which is an aquatic annelid. What is their characteristic? They have parapodia, which is one of the important characteristics to distinguish nerees from other two annelids, that is earthworm and leech. Earthworm, which is also called as ferretima. So we have here earthworm, which is also called ferretima. Then leech, the blood-sucking leech, which is also called as hirudinaria, and this is nerees. So these are the different examples. So if you can see here, in their entire body they have segments. All of these have segments, right? You can see segments. So segments are nothing but lines. So in the entire body, so if I take an earthworm, the entire body, it has round ring-like structures or segments in their body. So these are segments. And what type of segmentation? Metamerism. So this is about the annelids. So now let's look into some of the MCQs that can be framed under this particular topic. So annelids exhibit dash level of organization. Is it cellular, tissue, organ or organ system? So they exhibit organ system level of organization, wherein they have specific organs which group together to perform a specific function. So next question, dash are metamerically segmented. Is it Asculmens, platyhelminths, annelids or arthropods? The Asculmens are roundworms which do not have segments, platyhelminths flatworms which do not have segments. Then comes arthropods, they are the insects, and then comes Insects have segments, but it is not metamerically segmented. Why means metameric segmentation means wherein the organs get repeated in the segments, right? So that is metameric segmentation. So you can't choose arthropods here. It is annelids which are metamerically segmented. So you have to be very careful when you read the question. Who knows, you might just mark arthropods as the answer, but arthropods are segmented. Only thing is they're not metamerically segmented. Next question. The lateral appendages in nereis is called parapodia, pseudopodia, limbs and metameres. Pseudopodia, no. Pseudopodia are the false feet that are present in amoeba, right? So it is not pseudopodia. Limbs, no, they do not have limbs. Limbs come under vertebrates. Rest of the organisms, they don't have limbs. Next is metameres. Metameres is nothing but segmentation. It has nothing to do with the appendages or the organs for movement. So here the answer is parapodia, that is nereis, for example. It has parapodia. Terrestrial annelids use dash for locomotion. See how the question has been twisted, right? Terrestrial. Now be very, very careful here. What did I ask the question? Terrestrial annelids. Don't mark it as parapodia. It will become wrong because parapodia are present in aquatic annelids, not in terrestrial annelids. So terrestrial annelids use dash for locomotion. Is it parapodia? No. Of course, parapodia is present in annelids, but is it present in terrestrial annelids? No, it's present in nereis, which is an aquatic annelid. So is it pseudopodia? Not again pseudopodia, because I told you that is the false feet present in amoeba. None of the above. No, that's also wrong. So it is circular muscles. So they have circular, so as well as lateral muscles, which actually help in the movement of terrestrial annelids. Next, which one of the following is a characteristic feature of annelids? Pseudocoelomate? No, they're not pseudocoelomate because they are coelomates. Is it open circulatory system? No, because they have a closed circulatory system. Is it radial symmetry? Again, no, because they have a bilateral symmetry. So what is the right answer? It is metamerism, because annelids exhibit metamerism. Or they can give other option and give it as this option can be made coelomate, this option can be made as closed circulatory system, this as bilateral symmetry, and they can give the option as all of the above. Then you have to choose all of the above because all are the characteristics of annelids. But in this case, it is only metamerism that is the characteristic of annelids. Next, leech belongs to the phylum Ascalmens, Platyhelminths, Arthropoda, Annelida. So leech belongs to Annelida. That is those organisms having rings or segments in the body. So the next question, excretory units of annelids are dash. Is it Malpighian tubules? No, Malpighian tubules are found in arthropods, which are the insects. So that is not the right answer. Is it flame cells? No, flame cells are found in platyhelminths, that is the flatworms. Platyhelminths. Is it muscular pharynx? No, muscular pharynx is found in Ascalmens, that is roundworms. So therefore the right answer here is nephridia. So nephridia is the excretory unit of annelids. They help in osmoregulation as well as in excreting or eliminating waste from the body. So they can ask there, the osmoregulatory function in annelids is carried out by. Then also you have to choose the answer as nephridia, because nephridia comes under annelids. Next, ferritima is commonly called as leech, tapeworm, ringworm, earthworm. Now, leech is called as hirudinaria. It is called hirudinaria. The question can come up like this also. Hirudinaria is also called as, or leech is also called as, like that they can frame the question. Tapeworm, no, tapeworm is Taenia, and it comes under platyhelminths, that is flatworms. Ringworm, no, ringworm comes under that is Ascalmens. It comes under Ascalmens, that is roundworms. The right answer here is earthworm. Earthworm is called as ferritima. Next, dash is not a characteristic feature of annelids. Is it nephridia? Annelids have nephridia, which is their excretory unit, right? Which helps in osmoregulation and eliminating waste from the body. So this is not the right answer because it is one of the characteristic feature. Is it paired ganglia? Yes, they have a paired ganglia because in the nervous system, they have the paired ganglia. So, this is not the right answer. Ventral nerve cord, yes, they have a ventral nerve cord to which all the lateral nerves are connected. So, this is also not the right answer. It is the visceral hump because visceral hump, you find it in mollusks. That is in oysters, in octopus, they have visceral hump. That is in mollusks, phylum mollusca. So, therefore, this is the right answer because be careful with the question. What did I ask you? Dash is not a characteristic. So, if it was a characteristic, I would have put here D option as all of the above. Then you would have selected all of the above because all these three are the characteristics of annelids. But what was the question I framed here? Dash is not a characteristic feature of annelids. So, therefore, the answer here is visceral hump is not a characteristic feature because all the other three are the characteristic feature. So, option D is the right answer here. So, option D is the right answer here. So, this was about the session wherein we learnt about phylum Annelida, their characteristics and some of the examples, and also we came to know like in what way questions can appear in the form of MCQs for the final exam. So, this was about the session. Hope you understood this session well. We shall meet again in the coming session wherein we'll discuss about a new topic and the MCQs under it. Thank you.